Hello, everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and welcome to the review of Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man. Yes, the continuation of the popular, well-received TV show of the same name, Peaky Blinders, which ran from 2013 to 2022. This is the film that is currently on Netflix, and it is starring Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy. He's reprising his role as Tommy Shelby. Joining him in this cast, you have Stephen Graham, Rebecca Ferguson, Tim Roth, Barry Keoghan, and this crime drama picks up amidst the chaos of World War II. Tommy Shelby returns from his self-opposed exile to face his most destructive reckoning yet. With the future of his family and country at stake, Tommy must face his demons and choose whether to confront his legacy or burn it to the ground. Peaky Blinders as a TV show, I didn't watch. Shockingly enough, I've seen a few episodes. My wife, she watched it. She watched it religiously. She loved that show, and I see why. I see why she did. At least in the few episodes that I watched, I enjoyed. Actually, it's more than a few. Now that I think about it, I actually watched maybe a season or two, and I couldn't tell you which one it was. But she would watch. It was like a nonstop marathon at one point that she was catching up and wanted to go through the entire show. I wasn't ready to commit to watch 10 seasons of a show or however long it was. I just couldn't do it. So I watched a few, and I enjoyed what I watched. And I was a little skeptical about watching the movie because, I'm not a Peaky Blinder guy or whatever they call their fan base. I don't know what are they, blinders or whatever, but I just did not want to watch this and be lost for 2 hours. But I'm happy to report, if you are a Peaky Blinders guy or gal, I'm more than certain you would enjoy this movie. And if you haven't watched the TV show, like me, not a avid watcher or viewer of the show, you still can enjoy this movie. I was not lost at all. I knew everything that was going on. Now, granted, I knew a lot due to the pieces of the show that I did watch, but even with the elements that I wasn't familiar with, I got caught up fairly quickly, so I could follow this movie very well, and I did. This movie was really good. This was an awesome movie. I love crime dramas, gangster films, and stuff like that. So this was right up my alley, which begs the question why I didn't watch this show. But I did enjoy this movie. Cillian Murphy, I mean, what else could you say? I mean, the dude is amazing in everything he's in. He's amazing as Tommy Shelby, and we got to see every element of Tommy Shelby. If you're a fan of the show that you are familiar with, he eased right back into that role. The world or the era that this was set in, around World War II, this world looks like after World War II or during World War II. They didn't give an exact year when this happened, but it felt like this was a film that was 80. This took place 80 years ago. It was really well constructed. And speaking of well constructed, the writing here by Stephen Knight, who created the show, wrote the series. He also wrote the movie, of course, and he's about to, I believe, he's writing the new James Bond movie that will be coming out next, with Denis Villeneuve directing that one. But man, the writing here was so good. You couldn't help but get engaged with these characters. And once again, the writing was so good, you didn't have to watch the entire show from beginning to end to know everything that was going on in this movie. And the only way you could pull that off is excellent writing. And I really appreciated that. It wasn't dumbed down. It wasn't like it was dumbed down for those who didn't watch the show. It really it was just easy to follow, and that's a testament to Stephen Knight and the director Tim Harper, who directed this movie very well. One, it looks gorgeous. Secondly, it was paced really well. There were moments where this could have turned into a cheese fest or a nostalgia trip to kind of honor the TV show or give little nuggets here, Easter eggs here. And I'm pretty sure there are Easter eggs throughout this movie that I didn't catch because, like I said, didn't watch the show. But it didn't rely on that. It really relied on the character building and pushing the story along. And we got a satisfying movie out of it. My main takeaway for this movie was Barry Keoghan. I Barry Keoghan is one of the best young actors, or underrated, because nobody talks about him. Everybody talks about the Robert Pattinsons of the world, the Timothy Chalamets of the world, the Michael B. Jordans of the world. You know, around that age group, and nobody talks about Barry Keoghan. Now, granted, Barry Keoghan, he doesn't pop up in a lot of blockbuster films. He mainly hovers around independent British films and stuff like that. But this dude is phenomenal. I love him in everything he's in, and Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, is no exception. It's somewhat his movie. It it's Cillian Murphy's movie, but it's Barry Keoghan's movie as well. He I guess this is kind of a passing of a torch type deal. Not to get deep into spoilers and whatnot, but it's like a here you go, son. You know, here you go. This is yours now. You know, here's the keys to the Ferrari. Drive it. Just don't wreck the car. It was that type of feel. And if they do more, if continue on with the show or even do more movies or whatever the case, I'm on board if Barry Keoghan's involved. I loved his character. I loved how he plays this character. The dynamic that he is dealing with. You know, Tommy Shelby is dealing with a lot of internal crisis, but so is Duke in this film. So I love the dynamic between those two that eventually collides with one another, the father and son here, and I loved how that was played. If there's some negatives that I have about this movie, and they're pretty nitpicky, but valid nonetheless. The villain isn't really flushed out enough for me. You know, Tim Roth here, and Tim Roth is another phenomenal actor for years. I mean, going back to Reservoir Dogs and Planet of the Apes. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, he was Abomination in The Incredible Hulk and all this. He has a interesting filmography, and he's excellent. But he was kind of underserved here, and I, kind of wanted more from him because when he was on screen, very interesting, very devious and conniving and slimy and murderous and everything you want out of a villain. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't flushed out enough. We really didn't get a lot of backstory about his character. And I know that when you're dealing with a movie like this, or telling a story like this, some characters are going to suffer, but I wish it wasn't his. I wish his was a little more flushed out, so you could have had a little more connection with his character. Now, with that being said, maybe that character was in the show. Now, if that character was in the initial show, okay, I really don't have a leg to stand on there, but I'm just going off of this film. The film really didn't give me a lot of meat on that bone as far as a villain that I wanted vanquished. I did, because he was just vow, but I wanted more substance to that. Um, my other gripe would probably be the climax, the big climactic end to the movie. It didn't really satisfy. Like it didn't hit like I don't think they intended it to. It didn't have that oomph that I wanted it to have, and I can't get too deep into it because I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't watched it. But it just happened, and I know in life things just happen. So I can't get too upset with that, but at the same time, you know, for characters or a character that you've been following, and I'm speaking of those who are big fans of the show, been watching it from the beginning, going back to 2013, you kind of want uh more of a significant conclusion. I don't think we got that. Now, I was satisfied with a certain aspect of the end involving our main character because of what they set up in this film. But I just felt it should have been a little more. Now, this is me grasping at straws. It's not a big gripe. It's really not knocking the movie but I'm thinking in the whole grand scheme of it all, you know, I, you kind of want something more grandiose, and it wasn't grandiose in my humble opinion, but it was a tad bit satisfying, but not enough to fill me up, if that makes any sense. I'm dancing around it because I don't want to spoil it, but just see it for yourself, and I will come back and discuss it later. But in any event, overall, I thought this was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I think fans of the show will enjoy it. I think if you didn't watch the show, you can still enjoy Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man. I give this a letter grade of a B plus. Yeah, man. Netflix. Always, man. Netflix has a real good win percentage, in my humble opinion, when it comes to films and television shows, especially over the last few months. I've enjoyed the products they have been putting out, but that's just one man's opinion. I would love to know yours. What did you think of Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man? Did you enjoy it? Are you a fan of the show? And hope to see more? Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, don't forget about YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.